Hello, everybody. Superior Stacker here today, guys. Today we're going to be talking about the history and value of gold in coinage. So before we get started, please hit that subscribe button, please, and thank you. Well, guys, let's get started. So around 700 BC, some other people say 550 BC, the Lydian merchants first started using gold as currency, which was a huge influence, as we all know it, and leading down to the rest of the history. And so it was a gold and silver alloy, about some people say about 63% gold and 27% silver mixture known as electrum. Electrum can it's a natural occurring alloy, but it can also be something that could be produced artificially by mixing gold and silver and other metals such as copper or whatever was available. But that's what happened in Lydia and by the merchants, and in the Lydia, it was a kingdom which is now in an area which is now part of Turkey. So that kind of gives some historical fact around there where it first began. The king was, his name was Croesus. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but he was known for his wealth. He was a very wealthy king, and so he was all about it. And he actually adapted the use of gold coins, the coinage in that era in his kingdom. So that was the big push for gold in that time, and it made it easier for transactions. So, and don't get me wrong, when new things come around, people are not 100% sure. And I'm sure that it wasn't as popular at first, but little by little started picking up. And of course, if the king says something and he's the ruler, of course you have to follow. But since the beginning of time, people have loved the brightness and the amazing gold. It's just gold and silver, but gold has just attracted people since the beginning of time for so many values. Um, it was a metal that was used in religious beliefs, trading, jewelry, and of course, coins. So they were definitely the first people that have started those coins. And at first, they were kind of like a mixture of a gold nugget and a coin. It was not perfect. And they had the image of a lion and a bull, or sometimes just a lion, but those were the first coins in Lydia. Of course, after they the king got captured by Persia. Of course, that was a whole other game there. I guess some people knew each other, or they were relatives somehow, by marriage. You know how kingdoms are. But the Persians liked the coins and adopted gold coins. They were just fascinated by like what Lydia, the kingdom, had been doing. So the Persians gave the gold coins a huge push, making the popularity just explode, and especially when trading among other regions. So of course, that just spread like, hey, this is gold. Here's these coins. We're gonna make it the next big thing, and people trusted it so much. So that was what was a huge influence. And then we go to the Greeks and Roman empires that use gold to make beautiful coins. They influenced modern coins in today's age. And of course, like the eagle, they had a lot of images of their gods on there. And they were just, of course, at that time, they were powerful empires. So they would be doing trades with other parts of the world, Asia, other parts of the regions. I have one right here from ancient Rome. And as you could tell, it has a chip on it. And what people would do back in the day is, well, of course, there was a lot of counterfeiting, but also they would cut off pieces off their coins. And this one is a perfect image and a perfect example of that chipping right here. It's a beautiful coin in beautiful condition, other than the chip, but hey, that adds to the historical value. And so what people would do is they would cut off this piece, and then they would still use this in the markets or for trade. I'm sure sometimes they would get trouble like, oh, well, it's chipped, it's lost some of its value. But pretty much imagine if you get a $10 bill, cut off a piece, still use a $10 bill, and yet you could add that to make more dollars. But of course, it wouldn't work with fiat currency. This would have to be with precious metals. But this is one of my favorite coins right here of the ancient ones that I have, and it's actually silver. I had this one tested there at the coin store before I bought it, and this actually is almost 99%, close to 99% silver, and with some traces of gold. Of course, they're refining things back in the day weren't as efficient as they are now. You could get 3 9s, 4 9s on gold and silver. So, but either way, imagine the historical value on that. So, coins were hugely influenced by the Greek and Roman empires, and that led to other nations and kingdoms and empires to adapt to that. One being medieval Europe, gold coins became popular choice of currency for the people at their time. Of course, they faced a very big struggle at one point, guys. They in the 15th century, they almost ran out of gold because their economy was doing so well, and with trading with other people in different regions, and they pretty much outmined their gold mines. They were not getting as much because of so much mining. So what saved them was well, before that, this was called the Great Bullion Famine by historians, was when they ran out of gold to produce more coins. So what really saved them was the discovery of the Americas, even though they were already here. And that's another dispute that we'll talk on another time. But they had huge underground supplies of gold and silver in the Americas. So that was what saved the medieval coinage at that time, because, like, hey, if we have no more gold, what are we going to make it? Of course, they were using silver, but gold was the big player there, and it still continues to be the big player. So, and also what also helped them was Portugal uh, got a hold of many mines, gold mines in Africa. So then there was a huge surplus of gold being available for this region, and so on and so on. And that's how it continued. And then we're going to move forward to the history of Spain. Spain and the Spanish gold doublet, or escudos, which was at that time, Spain was a world ruler of empire. Like, it was just a very powerful empire. So people wanted to trade with their currency, their coinage. And I have one, which, they're expensive. They're not easy to get. And it's very old, from 1755. Of course, nothing old compared to the ancient coins out there. And if you guys have seen some of my other videos, you know how I got this. I had a good reputation with a coin shop, and they found this under on the bottom of their big safe. They had multiple big safes, and they said, hey, we know you like these kind of coins. Are you interested? And I purchased this for $99 exactly. And I was very happy with that purchase, because, if you're into these go for a pretty amount. They don't go below $300. So I was very happy with that find. And as you can see, the edging right there, the ridge, it's thinner on top. That's just how every coin was so different back then. They just made them and continued, like, hey, here's this coin. It's the denomination on it and the amount of gold. Here we go. We didn't stop. We didn't, no errors. So people that were wealthy probably had a lot of coins to collect, because they weren't all exactly the same, and they weren't perfect. And that's what makes them kind of cool. So the gold, Spanish gold, is actually, their coinage actually inspired the American coins. And to move forward into history, it was used in the United States until 1857, until the Coinage Act was enacted. It pretty much outlawed the use of Spanish money for official transactions. So pretty much they put a big hold and said, hey, no more. You're not going to be able to use this. And so that stopped that, guys. Interestingly, here's another nugget I have, which is very, very nice nugget I got from Alaska. If any of you have been to Alaska, you know the serious gold panning that goes on over there. So yeah, guys, gold has been a huge factor throughout history, and thankful for the Lydian merchants and the Lydian Empire that started it all, and it just spread like wildfire. And as we know, we still have gold coins from all over the world, from Canada, the United States, China, Europe, Mexico, all over the world. We have gold coins and gold bars, and it's still, in my opinion, we have fiat currency now and digital money, But the king of currency, in my opinion, is gold. All precious metals are a good physical asset to own, like silver and so many more. And people will, to this day, it doesn't matter where you go in the world, you get gold. You take it somewhere, you will be able to sell this for whatever fiat currency or trade it for whatever goods. It's universal money. So that's my humble opinion. Any thoughts or comments, guys? Please leave some comments, and I will see you guys on the next one. You guys take care. Thank you very much. Happy stacking.